last of the ember months, and we know that during this ember month, especially December, there are lots of movements here and there. People will be traveling to actually celebrate the season with their families, especially long distance journeys here and there. There is no journey that is not very, very important. We normally say that, but you know, people will move to the north, move to the east, move to the south, and of course, depending on where you decide to spend the Christmas and New Year festivities, so to say. And we know the challenges this bring on to our roads, so to say. So the usage is everybody wants to get to their destination safely, and this is a very challenging time to our road managers, talking about FRSC and various state traffic agencies, like in Ogun State, the Ogun State Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Corps, that is TRACE, is also in the thick of action at this very period. And so we want to look at this moment, road usage and road management during the Yuletide period. That's what's going to be our first port of call, talking about the discussion segment of the program. And we have in the studio the Public Relations Officer of TRACE, Ogun State Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Corps, Babatunde Hakibi, with us to actually look at this issue with us. Babatunde Hakibi, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Mr. Akintode. It's a pleasure being here and compliment of the season.
Same to you. Yes, this is a very busy period for our road managers. Now, let's start from this way. What is it that, let's just look at the topic. Is it germane as we speak?
Certainly so. Very, very germane. Road usage, that has to do with road users, and road management, it has to do with enforcers of traffic rules and regulations. TRACE, FRSC, the traffic police, the VIO, okay? It's very germane.
How will you describe the usage of road at this time?
Thank you once again. The usage of road at this point in time, there is more increase in road usage by road users, because around this time you have a high volume of vehicular and human traffic on the road, because people are traveling from one destination to the other. They want to go and celebrate with their loved ones, with the family, with friends and acquaintances and well-wishers. Equally, religious organizations are also having end-of-year, activities like harvest and all whatnot. You also have corporate institutions also, having one activity or the other, okay, to end the year. People are also traveling from one destination to the other, maybe because of wedding anniversary. Some people like to get married at this point, at this time of the year, all right? And people also love to travel home for some traditional, festivities. So the quantum of all this is going to...
The volume of traffic.
Of course, it's going to affect it.
Yeah. Do we have roads that can adequately absorb them without any problem?
Of course we do. Why not if not? Okay, we do. And it's apart from the pressure being on the road now, the rail is also functioning depending on where you are going, and it's a way of reducing the pressure on the road. I want to thank the government for the initiative of also trying to bring to bear the other modes of transportation. We have the road, we have the rail, we have the sea, and we also have the air transport. Okay, but out of all these four, the road will continue to stand so tall like an Iroko tree, because even if you live via the sea, via the air or the rail, you still come back to the road. You start from the road and you come back to the road. So the road is very central and is germane to all other modes of transportation. And that's why transportation will become, as always, and will continue to be the economy that drives, or rather the wheel that drives the nation's economy. There is nothing you can do without transportation, either through the road, either through the rail, either through the air, or via the sea. Okay, so the road is there, and it will continue to be there in spite of some of the challenges that we have. And that's why we want to implore road users at this time that they should first and foremost plan their journey. Okay? That's very key too. Maybe even before planning your journey, you must ensure that you are safe, because safety starts with a man, either as the driver of the vehicle or as a passenger or as a commuter. Okay? Safety starts with you. Before leaving, ensure you are physically, emotionally, psychologically, and mentally balanced, especially for the drivers, because you use all your senses to drive anyway. You use the eyes to see, you use your hand to to pilot the wheels. You use your nose to smell in case there is any wiring element that is burning. Okay, that's the nose for you to feel. The ears, in case there is a challenge with your vehicle, you can't see the back. Somebody beside you or at your back can horn. So you use that sense of hearing to hear. You use your buttock to sit. If perchance you have a boil in your anus, you can't be comfortable. It's going to distract your attention. You use your legs to accelerate. So all the senses plays a major role. See, if perchance any of these senses is impaired, then you are a crash waiting for somewhere to happen. Yes, you are a crash, because we don't have accidents on our roads. In this part of the world, we don't have accidents, because there's a difference between an accident and a crash. An accident is an unforeseen occurrence. You didn't plan for it. It just happened by chance. Okay? While a crash is a foreseen occurrence because of your inability to do certain things about yourself as a person and about your vehicle. Take for instance, the Hamilton are here now. You don't have a wiper. Your lighting system are not functioning. You hardly see, especially at night when you drive. And if anything happened, like a mishap as a result of this, it's not an accident, it's a crash, because you caused it. Your vehicle, you are using worn-out tires, and you are still driving 140, 150, 160 kilometers per hour. If perchance it got punctured and deflated, and you somersault, it's not an accident, it's a crash. Some of us are hydrophobic by nature. Okay? Anywhere we see a pool of water, we get easily irritated. And if perchance you see such, you will not be comfortable. All right? So if a mishap happened because of that, it's a crash, it's not an accident. Your wiper is not working, your lighting system is not working, and you're driving at night or in the early morning of the morning belt, where we still have foggy and harmattan is everywhere. If perchance you hit someone or you knock someone down, it's not an accident, it's a crash, because you caused it. So these are crashes. All right? And I want to implore us to please exercise patience around this time. Just like what the WHO says, 1.3 million people die as a result of road traffic crashes in the world every year. 1.3 million people die every year as a result of road traffic crashes. Out of this, 3,562 die every day. 3,562 every day die as a result of road traffic crashes. Every hour, 148 die. Every hour. And every minute, 2 persons dies. As we are talking now, some people are dying. So road traffic crashes is the greatest killer of human being in the world. Not Omicron, not malaria, not typhoid, not measles, not cancer. It's road traffic crashes. And within the age bracket, you'll be surprised, within the age bracket of 15 to 50, or 15 to 44 years, people that are in their prime, okay, they have been reduced to vegetables. They become vegetarian. These are people that, that were able to stay alive by whiskers, and they become vegetarian for life. They can't do anything.
Due to crashes.
Due to crashes. Okay? So it's a very, very serious issue. So I want to implore the general public, particularly the motoring public, to take the issue of safety very, very seriously, especially around this time of the year. All right? And I want to go to the vehicle too. Before you set out on the journey every day, please let's observe the morning parade. That is, do a thorough check on your vehicle. It's compulsory. All right? It's one of the psalms you need to read every day as regards to vehicle maintenance. Check your vehicle. Check the tires, check the radiator, check the oil level, the water, everything, the back, the bottom of the vehicle. Because if you don't check, there's the tendency for you to have issues on the road, which is going to lead, or it may even make you to be embarrassed. I can't imagine you driving now on the road and perchance your vehicle got stopped, couldn't move again. How will you feel? A whole Akintunde or Charity. No, it's true. How will you feel? You feel embarrassed.
I think you're right.
Yes, it is. So, and it's because of those negligence and nonchalant attitude that we bring to bear anytime we drive on the road. Check your vehicles, all right? And equally, when you do that, avoid driving at breakneck speed, all right? Maybe the first thing you need to do before that is to plan your journey. Yes, planning is very key and central. In fact, in anything you want to do in life, you need to plan. It's because people don't plan from January to August and September. That's why they want to achieve what they couldn't achieve in 10 months, in 1 or 2 months. All right? You now become to drive dangerously and recklessly to affect other roads because you want to meet up what you have set for yourself.
And give bad names to the ember months.
That is just it. So there's nothing mystical about the ember months. There's nothing mystical. It's more about our attitude, it's more about our behavior, and it's more about our habits. Because we are always in a rush in this part of the world. I don't know. Maybe we are from Russia. I don't know. If even the Russians, they are not as, it's true. And we love to manage things a lot. We manage. Your brake is not functioning very well. Your lighting system, well, okay, maybe when I come back. Before you come back, do you know what can happen? Are you in control of your life, of your destiny, of that movement? Are you in charge? Some of us even believe in metaphysical powers. Yes, there's a whole lot of amulets on their bodies, okay, to prevent, and this is what Professor Wale Soyinka called years back, RAIDS. That's the Road Accident Immunity Delusion Syndrome, RAIDS. They believe that with all those charms and everything, they are immune. They're protected. Yes, and unfortunately, they are the ones that are the culprits anytime there are crashes on the road. We see all of them. Marijuana on the engine, so many funny things.
Okay. Charity.
Now let's look at the road management now. The road management involves those officers that will be on the road to check if everything goes on well. From your own end, is it the same role you play from January till about maybe August
that you still play, or you double up?
September too, because we tag those months, ember months. What are the roles you play between January to August and September to December?
Well, it's essentially it's still the same role, but the approach and the strategy that you now adopt, okay? Because you can't be doing the same thing the same way every now and then. You need to re-strategize based on the context of that point in time. You understand? The situation at times determine your mode of operation and the way you go about certain things. So the context of the time period of the ember months makes us to be more strategic and proactive in our mode of operations. And that's why I want to thank the Ogun State government also for also being proactive, because we have now a joint task force, Ogun State government joint task force on maintenance of sanity on Ogun traffic corridors. Okay, and this involves TRACE, FRSC, the police, the VIO, and even the Ministry of Transportation, which is the umbrella ministry that coordinates and also brings all these agencies together. Because, you can't do it alone. It's two heads, the saying goes, is better than one. And that's why all these agencies have been brought together to be able to work together and to be able to also ensure that we have sanity on our roads. There's hitch-free movement from one point, from one destination to the other, to ensure that there's reduction in road traffic crashes, and to ensure that roadworthy vehicles, are checked also, and to ensure that all obstructions or impediments that may impede, traffic flow and traffic movement on our roads are removed, so that we can have a seamless flow of traffic on all Ogun traffic corridors, especially these key 3 highways. That's the Abeokuta, Shagamu, Shiun, Kobape axis, also the Ijebu-Ode Epe highway, and also the Abeokuta Songwater, E4, Lagos highway. So these three highways are very, very key and germane because of the quantum of traffic that we know will happen.
One of the
even the Lagos Ibadan Expressway.
Okay, one of the things you guys go against is overloading.
Certainly.
And of course, on few occasions, some of us too do go on public transport. And of course, it's disheartening because it's what I see that some routes, it's like traffic managers have seen some routes as the routes where transport owners can do overload. And I'm sure of what I'm saying.
Okay.
You see 4 in the back, 2 in the front, and you get to see them meeting traffic people. And of course, they just wave, they know them, hi, maybe, I don't know.
And some just get down and just come in.
Yeah, and they'll come in and get down. So there are some routes. I'm not saying in all areas, but there are some, let me be specific now. I've been from, I've taken vehicle from Ijebu-Ode to going to Berigbe, that's the Ikorodu area, and I've seen it. And I know there are traffic officers there. They just wave or they come down. But this is not an example of routes where drivers are allowed to carry overload. Let me put it that way.
Mr. Akintunde, maybe let me just react to that. There is no route and there is no corridor that is exempted, okay, from overloading. There is none, all right? Maybe I should try and maybe I should sensitize even the drivers and even the road users, because some of the road users as passengers, they don't know they also have rights, all right? Let me start with the drivers first. If you say they don't know, that's a lie. Most of them knows. Even when you overload, okay, you are affecting the balancing of your vehicle. Because those that constructed the roads and the vehicles anyway.
I just want to give an example. We're even going far.
No.
You are not mortuary to my 6.
Okay.
When you go on a taxi, it's 4 at the back.
2 at the front.
Okay, let's say occasionally they don't get to see traffic officers. Adaton to Shiele, to Odeda, probably. It is always 4 at the back, 2 at the front.
Mr. Akintunde?
With some loads heavily packed also.
I will answer your question, no problem. One, they don't know overloading. I want to start with the implication or even the challenge of overloading your vehicle. They don't know overloading will affect the balancing of your vehicle. Because those that constructed the vehicle, they've allotted the number of spaces that the vehicle can occupy conveniently and for the vehicle to be able to work at optimal level. All right? Conveniently and optimal. I decided to be very choosy in the use of those words. And it's not as if that some of them don't know. They know. But it's because of the greed, the high-handedness, and the selfishness that you and I exhibit on the road. Because you see a whole lot of people, passengers, wanting to move from one place to the other around the time. You can only go 1 trip or 2 trips because of the nature of your vehicle. You are now going 10, 8 trips. You are a crash waiting for somewhere to happen. Secondly, even the passengers themselves, they don't know they have rights on the road. When you are boarding a vehicle, you get to a park or garage, you know that you can see the vehicle you are going to board is rickety. Even the driver smells of alcohol. You can sense that at least there's what we call psychological pricing and marketing. We also adopt it in road traffic management. Psychologically, you can read a person, his kind of person, who he is. Okay? Via that, you know that this one is a threat to life. So why didn't you leave? Okay? Even in overloading, we are even the cause of most of these things. They will say 3 at the back, 1 in the front. But you say maybe 2 is already in and 1 is in the front. You now say, 2 of us are going now. You know our mentality here. So how are we going to do it? Oh, adjust. Let's manage.
What about the traffic officers?
I'm coming.
Let's assume all this. Actually, let's assume yes, you have stated all this.
Okay.
I mean, there is a step by step. We feel step 1. We feel step 2. We feel step 3. Step 4.
Which is the management.
The management, where you can say, no, you can't go this way. And we see people bypassing them, and of course, just waving.
Mr. Akitude,
that's why I want you to point out, what are you people doing? You know it happens. What is the traffic managers doing, especially at this U-type period, to see that overloading is also a cause of crash? You say
of course.
So what are you people doing to see that traffic officers don't aid and abet?
Mr. Akitude,
I can hear
regulation without enforcement is just like a tea party. Do you agree with me?
Sure.
Regulation without enforcement is like a tea party. And we are not having a party or tea party on the road.
You people,
because
people are supposed to enforce.
Of course. And that's what we do. Because of the strategic nature of that route that you just mentioned, Adata, Obantoko, Oshiele, we have two commands around that axis. Obantoko Divisional Command and the Odeda Divisional Command. Because it's strategic. And we know that most of us, I don't know where we are from. Are we from? I don't know, maybe we are from outer space. Very, very indisciplined. You know the implication of something and you still do it. And when traffic officers penalize you, you'll now be saying, hey Joe, please. But there's no hey Joe in this thing. If you are penalized for overloading your vehicle with loads or with human beings, okay? Because some of them, we pack them like fish.
Yeah.
I'm
even saying 4, there could be more than 4.
Of course now. And some people put school children, when they are still in session, they'll put them on their laps. At times there will be 8 or 10 in a vehicle.
Yeah, sure.
How will you do that? In such situation, we pack them and we bring out, in fact, I've experienced one before. I was going for a program at Funab FM, all right? And I saw a woman, the Okada, the motorcycle rider, the woman, and 3 children. 3 on a bike. Okay? So when the driver of the vehicle saw, when the driver of the motorcyclist saw me, he began to panic. I now asked them to park. When I asked them to park, the woman now came down. Say, please, my husband, please. She was kneeling down and everything. I said, Mama, stand up. It's not a matter of Baba, come here, what have you. I now took the time first to educate her. The implication of what she's doing. I said, are these all the children you have? He said, yes, that's what God has given me and everything. How will you feel if something happens to these 3 children? And even yourself as a person. He said, because, I said, no, Mama. He now begged. I said, okay, where are you going? He said she's going towards Camp Funab Axis. I said, okay, no problem. Enter my vehicle. She now started weeping. You understand? And I told her, it's not a matter of weeping, Mama. This is all that you have in the world. If anything happens to these children, even God Almighty will not forgive you because you've exposed them to danger. Because they don't have the control of themselves. Because you are in charge of them. So if by chance anything happens to them, you are guilty of that.
I was going to ask that. Sorry, you come to you. Because you mentioned motorcycle riders, how challenging has it been for traffic managers to manage the menace of these motorcycle riders on our road, especially at this period? There will be more people influx. Many people might not be able to get taxis. They will go on Okada, and you know the way they behave. You know the way they ride. At times when you are driving, there is one here, there's one, and an Okada man believes that you are the one that should see him and stop.
Oh man!
How are you coping with this?
You see, it's a challenge, no doubt. It's a challenge, and good is not a problem. There's a challenge, and a challenge can still be, resolved and all whatnot. Firstly, I think I must say it's rather unfortunate that we have to use motorcycle as a means of commercial transport, because I've not seen any. There is no transport lexicon in the world where you have motorcycle being used as a means of commercial. But we found ourselves in this situation. What we do essentially is that we continue to engage them. We talk with them and we talk to them. All right? But unfortunately, of late, and this is what we told their union Akomoron, Amoron, even Romo, there are some elements that are infiltrating, their rank and file, who are not registered members. And that's why I also want to give it to the Ogun State government for the initiative of establishing the identification scheme, whereby if you are riding an Okada as a means of transport, you need to register. You do proper documentation, so that in case of any problem, we'll know who you are and how we can trace you. All right? Okada riders, they are not easy to penalize. You understand? Yeah, it's not easy for you to impound them, because you know the way they maneuver and everything. All right? But we have a special squad, specially trained at the headquarters, all right, that goes after them. Because at times, if you are not well trained, to catch up with them, you just expose their lives and even your own life to danger. And I say, that trace, because we're above that one now. All right. So, and even if you want to confirm, come to our office. You see how many Okadas we have there. So we say, what are you going to do? Just wait. you understand? So it is a whole lot of issue, and this is another opportunity for public enlightenment that motorcycle riders, their union leaders are watching, and they are also listening now. They need to continue to talk with them. Most of the things we talk to them about, I hope, is going down. Because at times you'll be surprised that what you say today is what you're going to say tomorrow or next tomorrow. And we now ask ourselves: is what we are telling you, are you easily passing it down? Is it going down to those who it is meant for? Because you can't be doing the same thing every now and then. And we don't take it easy with them anyway. Once you are penalized for any traffic infraction, you have to go through the mills. Go through the mills in the sense that go to a traffic counseling room. We counsel you before you pay the due penalty to government coffers.
Okay, talking about sensitization now, how serious do you take education? Because if those people using the road, the road users generally, the vehicle owners, those using the leg, the Okada riders, if they are educated enough, according to you, their rights will be spelled out, and each of them will know what they should do at a particular. So from management, how do you take issue of education? Do you take it seriously? Because we can't just say Ember months, they will go on the road and start arresting those defaulters or those who are victims of some people who are not listening to the law. So how do you take education seriously from your agency?
We take education very, very seriously. It's key. There are 3 E's in road traffic management, which education is involved. The first key is engineering. Engineering has to do with the road, construction, road furnitures, and whatever. Okay? Now, for those who are going to use the road, you need to educate them and enlighten them on how they should use the road. That's where education comes in. So it's key and central. The third is enforcement. The road is there. You have been educated and enlightened how you should use the road. So if by chance you commit any infraction or offense, then you'll be penalized. That is enforcement, because we are not here for a tea party anyway. And the 4E is evaluation. Evaluation in the sense that we're trying to see, is the way we are using in carrying out this operation, is it yielding the desired results? Are we getting the desired benefit? If not, we need to re-strategize so that we can achieve the set goals. So education is key for us, and that's why we even have a unit called the Public Education Department under the Directorate of Training and Public Education.
You take it to them or you invite them?
We take it to them and we invite them. Most of them have even called us during the season to come and enlighten. And the head of the education unit has always been doing that. Even when you are penalized for any infraction on the road, we still bring you to that unit to do what we call traffic counseling. Because most of them don't know the implication of what they are doing at times. So via that medium, there's a video clip that we are going to show that will tell you what you have done, what it can lead to, what it can cost, not only for yourself, but to other users of the road. Okay? Afterwards, you pay a fine. then everything goes to the government coffers.
Oh,
But at times too, depending on the gravity of the offense you've committed, you may not even pay any fine. We may sit you down at the counseling room, enlighten you, educate you, show you series of video clips, and gives you pamphlets. And we also waste your time. And you know time is money. Take, for instance, a commercial vehicle driver that knows he has to deliver. If he wastes his time for 4 or 5 hours, do you know what that means to him? Okay? So those are some of the ways and manner we try to expose road, and it's working. Because I'll tell you, I used to be in that unit some years back, okay, as the PSO of the Directorate of Public Education and Training. During that time, there was one man that was caught. I don't want to mention the name. He wasn't an honorable then, but he became an honorable. He was brought to that unit and the counseling room for training, and I was the one that did the training for him. I showed him so many clips, and he was even surprised. He said, "Mr. Kimbi, do you do all these in trace?" I said, "Yes, we do." He said, the only traffic control, that's the minutest thing that we do." He said, "Really?" I said, "Okay, we now, exchange pleasantries and please let me just, because what he did eventually is very key. Okay? About 3 weeks or thereabout later, he now called me. He was an honorable then. He now called me. He said, "Mr. Kimbi, thank you very much," and everything. He said, "Do you know one thing?" He said, "For the past 4 weeks, I've not been able to eat meat." I said, "Why, sir?" He said, "Because of what you showed me. I saw blood, raw flesh, and it's given me scare and everything." I say, "Thank God that we've now been able to catch you into the safety net. You now use your own platform to help us galvanize and evangelize the need for safety on our roads." So that's how we catch them.
Okay, Mr. Kibi, before you move on, your education, does it involve the use of road infrastructures? Because on the road, we know that there are traffic lights and there are lines on the road, and those lines have different meanings.
Yes.
Do you educate people? Because we know that some people, when you want to park, you don't park at the normal place. An oncoming vehicle can come and there could be a crash. So do you educate on road infrastructures too?
Of course we do. That's the whole essence of education and training. If you get to our public education department, you see a whole lot of signs, signals, and all whatnot that we also use to educate them. Because we know, take for instance, there was a man, he's driving an articulated vehicle. All right, driving the other, and he was penalized. There are 2 lines. There is one straight line, on the road, white, and there's another one white line that is being
What does it
broken.
mean? Because some people don't know the meaning.
I was going to use that as an example.
Okay.
Okay. You couldn't imagine what the man said. The man said that the line that was broken, maybe they had to break it because there's shortage of paint. There was shortage of paint during those times. So you can't. No, and it's a whole lot of issues that we have at times.
Okay.
But what we do is also part of that in the traffic counseling.
Quickly, in one word, before just 2 more questions. The truck drivers are seen as above the law. Your reaction?
No, they're not above. Nobody's above the law. Nobody. Even if you fly, there are rules and regulations that guide and regulate your conduct. Because it's not a state of nature whereby every Tom, Dick, and Harry can do whatever he likes. And that's why regulation is there. And if you fall short of the regulation that guides road traffic rules and regulations, you'll be penalized. Nobody's above the law. They know that themselves. Okay. But you can never help the fact that some of them are recalcitrant. Okay. They are recalcitrant, and they expose other road users to danger and all whatnot. And that's why we'll continue also to engage them. Okay. And where they refuse to follow rules and regulations, they are penalized. If your driver, for whatever reason, commits an offense and he runs away, we are going to do our own profiling. We'll get the owner of that vehicle. And once the owner is apprehended, if you can't find the driver, you are going to face the music.
Okay, recently a sad occurrence occurred in Abeokuta. What lessons are you taking away from that, from the traffic management angle? What do you think you should have done that you did not do? Or what I mean, you were also part of managing the disaster.
Yes.
Thank God that it didn't go beyond what we saw. I mean, from the traffic enforcement, compliance, and enforcement point of view, what lessons are you taking away from there?
The lesson here is that we, as road users, especially the man, okay, we must be alive to our responsibilities. Because safety on our road centers around you as a person. The one you make reference to was an act of sabotage. There's no doubt about it. Because all the first respondents that needs to be there when it happened, they were all there. The whole place was cordoned off. But you know the mentality of our people, all right? You see fuel all over the place, petrol, live one, very flammable. We now started, scooping. Some were even smoking palm in the Lafayette axis, all right? It was because of the untoward attitude of one of them that led to that inferno. Because it was, transloading was almost in progress. All right? So, take for instance, another one happened a month before that time at Enugada axis. And we cordoned off all the roads. And it was contained. It was transloaded. No fire. All right? And that's even on a smooth road anyway. But do we know how, at what speed did that man drove to that axis, knowing that it is a hilly area? Do we know his psychological mental state? Was he drunk? Because he was driving in the wee hours of the morning? Because you will know some of these, the way they drive in the wee hours, where they think that law enforcement officers will be at rest, they will not, so they can have their game. We are not sure of all this. But it even had an hazard problem. And you know what an hazard, and this tanker is loaded, 33,000 liters. How are we even sure that it's not overloaded? Because some of them, they do a lot of perforation on the tanker. All right? A tanker of 33,000, they will load it 45, 60.
On a truck that is probably being managed.
You understand? So these are a lot of issues that centers around you and I as man. And that's why man will come to stand so tall like a rock of Gibraltar or an Iroko tree, whereby safety lies on.
Your message as we go. This is the youth-type period. We have to make use of the roads.
Certainly.
Everybody, both the sane and insane.
Yes. I love it because you're also being defensive. Because that's called defensive driving technique. Please see yourself as the only sane driver, as the only sane road user anytime you're driving on the road. Because you don't know the person that is driving, facing you or coming from your back. You don't know his state of mind. You don't know where he's coming from. You don't know if he's drunk. You don't know if he has an issue with his wife at home. He didn't drop money for her and the children. So and these are things they now bring on the road. And that's why they misbehave.
Emotions.
Everything. So see yourself as the same driver. Then secondly, please plan your journey. Planning is very key and central. A trip that's going to take you 1.5 hours, add another 1 hour, 1.5 hours to it. Because you can never tell what's going to happen on the road. And that's why the road is dynamic in nature anyway. There's a lot of dynamism.
Thank you very much. I also add that you see trace officers or FRC officers as the sane and authentic officers that can control traffic. So whatever they say, you must obey, you must follow. Because the management and usage of the road, we are all stakeholders.
Certainly.
Even the road, what do we call it? Pedestrians.
Yeah, the pedestrians, passengers, commuters, we are all road users.
Thank you very much. We've been looking at road usage and road management during the youth-type period, and we've been having a wonderful interaction with the PRO of Trace, who I must say have done a wonderful job this morning. No regrets bringing you on a show this morning.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks very much for coming.
It's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. Thank you.
All right, we'll just take a break. We'll be back.